This is an expressive practice sample. You have been asked to render a message for a deaf upper elementary school student. In science, they're starting to learn about the layers of the rainforest. You'll have a 1-minute warm-up, followed by a 1-minute break. After the break, you'll begin interpreting or transliterating. The warm-up will begin momentarily. Next, for social studies, we're going to be learning about the layers of the rainforest, okay? This is going to lead into a project later where you're each going to pick an animal from the rainforest and a plant from the rainforest. And you're going to have to tell us which layer of the rainforest they live in, okay? So this is important to be listening to. For a bit of an outline, the 4 layers are the emergent layer, the canopy, the understory, and the forest floor, okay? And these layers have the different characteristics that they have because they each get different amounts of water, sun, and air circulation. So, I want everyone to be sure to be paying attention to this lesson because those same things will impact the plants and animals you pick for your projects, okay? The amount of sun, water, and air will also impact the characteristics of your plants and animals too. So, first, we have the emergent layer. This is the very tippy top. So, if you were flying above the rainforest and you looked down at it, you would be looking at the emergent layer, okay? This layer is where the tops of the trees that are like 200 feet tall poke out. Besides the trees, the other plants up there are pretty limited, but it's so sunny up there. The tops of the trees can photosynthesize so much light, okay? There's a special thing about the leaves that are up there too. Because of the way they're structured, they are able to hold on to water, which helps them get through times where there's not enough rain. Most of the living things in the emergent layer are able to fly. This is important too, because the emergent layer is really only strong enough to hold up the lightest things. The next layer is the canopy. This is a really thick 20-foot layer of forest. There's so many leaves and branches from all the trees that it's almost like a roof on top of the last 2 layers below it. The canopy layer blocks everything. It blocks the wind, it blocks the rain, it blocks the sun. All of these things together make everything below it so dark, so still, and really, really humid too. Because of this canopy layer, the trees are different at this part. Their leaves are more glossy and pointed so that they repel water because it's so dark there that if they held on to all the water, that wouldn't be good for them. The canopy is also the layer of the rainforest where most of the animals live because there is so much food and there's so many leaves. That's where most of the animals decide to stay. There's also so many insects too. So you guys are going to be able to pick insects for your project too, if you want. That can be the animal that you pick if you want. Next is the understory. So we have the emergent layer and we have the canopy, and now we have the understory. So the understory is several feet below the canopy, and it's even more dark, remember? Because the canopy is kind of like a roof on top of the understory. And these plants, of course, have to be a bit shorter because if they were taller, they would be in the canopy. And because sunlight is a lot harder to get, their leaves have to be really big. So they have to have a really wide surface to catch as much of the sunlight as they can. There's lots of animals that live in the understory because it's easy to hunt other animals there too. The last layer includes the ground. So this is called the forest floor. It is super, 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 super dark. That means that plants on the forest floor have a really hard time, right? Because we know that plants need sunlight, right? And all of the leaves from every layer, the emergent layer, the canopy, the understory, and the forest floor, all of the leaves end up down there. And when the leaves end up there, they decay really fast. There's a lot of different animals and plants that, eat up all of the different nutrients from those leaves. So you're going to have to keep those 4 layers of the rainforest in mind when it comes to your project. You're going to pick an animal from one layer of the rainforest. It can be a bird, a jaguar, a monkey, or an insect, right? And then you're going to pick an animal or a plant. I meant a plant. That can include decomposers like fungi. The only stipulation is that I want them to be from different layers of the rainforest, okay? I want them to be from different layers so that you learn more about at least 2 layers of the rainforest.